James Turner for the untouchable True School Sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I'm up with the birds, getting this July started off right. Get my little run in, doing some little hill sprints here on the street, and just trying to stay mentally sharp for these YouTube videos, because covering the sport is damn sure a mental grind, but one that I'm definitely up for, as I've done it all these years. But let's get this July started off right, guys. Let's talk about Teofimo Lopez versus Steve Claggett, because really and truthfully, this is a fight where Teofimo Lopez was supposed to win and look great doing it. And I mean, this has been the story of his career. I mean, he won the fight, so shout out to him. You know, in this sport, in this business, it's a results-based business for the most part. You know, he got the win, so it's not going to hinder him. But this didn't change, I should say, the narrative that Teofimo Lopez fights up and he fights down to his level of competition. Because look, credit to Steve Claggett. I give him all the credit in the world. He was game. He was tough. He came to win. I think he gave his best effort he possibly could have to win the world title. But Steve Claggett just doesn't have the skill set or the attributes to beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez even fights, he don't even got to fight at his best. He could fight a somewhat mid-performance and still beat Claggett like he did. But, you know, it was a fight where Claggett, like I said, he was in his face. The jab was landing very consistently, which is why Teofimo Lopez had a bunch of swelling on his eyes. He's, you know, and the thing with Teo is regardless, most of his fights, name the fight, I mean, he swells pretty easily. Some fighters are just like that. Some fighters got thicker and sharper scar tissues. Some fighters don't. I think he's one that doesn't have the thickest scar tissues in the world, so he does swell up easily, even if you don't hit him, hard enough. But Claggett hit him consistently enough to where that scar tissue was swelling up. The jab was in his face a lot. The right hand was in his face enough. He's just not a big puncher. So I think as the fight wore on, Teo got comfortable. He let Steve Claggett get a lot of punches off while he would lay on the ropes. And then somewhere around like round 4, round 5, that's why I think Teofimo Lopez started to really find a home for that uppercut, particularly from mid-range. When Teo had space to really sit down and plant the uppercut, that's when he was hitting Steve Claggett and stunning him and getting his respect. But honestly, it just goes to show you, like, Teofimo Lopez, solid puncher at 140. Not pillow-fisted, but not the guy he was at 35 that was slumping Comey and Magdaleno and these kind of guys. So if you can't even do so much as drop Steve Claggett, let alone stop him, then it begs the question. It really does beg the question, you know, will Teofimo Lopez's lack of punching power come back to haunt him? Yes. Listen, I give him all the credit in the world. He beat Josh Taylor. He's the man. He's the lineal champion. But if he is to fight the guys, the other champions, i.e., you know, Devin Haney, who just got his O back, Liam Paro, and if they ever got it made, Pitbull Cruz, does he have enough punching power to discourage these guys? Because you got to remember, one of the reasons why people picked Teofimo Lopez to beat these guys when he was at 35 was his blend of speed, athleticism, and punching power. But what happens when you take away just one of those things? You know, can he still get over the hump against the other champions? Who knows? But look, he's talking about going to welterweight. He's talking about fighting Terrence Crawford. That's not even realistic, because Terrence Crawford is not a 147-pounder anymore. He's literally fighting for a 154 title. So him calling out Terrence Crawford is very unrealistic. I think Teofimo Lopez, if he is trying to look for and capture some welterweight glory, there's only 2 viable options out there for him, in my humble opinion. You can either fight Jerome Boots Ennis, who is the current IBF champion. Yes, he was elevated, I understand that, but he is still a guy that is recognized universally by pretty much any boxing fan with a quarter of a brain as best welterweight in the world. So if you beat him, again, that makes you the man who beat the man 3 times over. They really can't say anything to you if you do that. particularly because you're not really flashing that kind of punching power you were flashing at 135, 140. So if you were to go to 47 and beat a guy like Boots, big feather in your cap. But if you wanted an even more realistic fight to make, Top Range got a welterweight who just won a belt in Brian Norman Jr. That'd be a great fight. I would like that fight. Brian Norman Jr. violated Giovanni Santillana in one of the most exciting, one-sided, impressive performances of 2024. So I think that's a fight that can be made. I think it would definitely be a up in pay grade for Brian Norman Jr. I think he'd be up to it. It's a big name. It's a chance to rise his stock in the sport. Why not? And he is champion. You know, he's gonna be elevated sooner or later here to WBO champion once Terrence Crawford gets close to fighting Madrimov. So it'd be a chance for Teofimo Lopez again to become champion. We know that the WBO is the top ranked belt. So look, whether you love him, whether you hate him, Teofimo Lopez has a whole truckload and a litany of options for fights to be made in his weight class or weight classes or in and around his weight. So, you know, like I was saying, he's got options. Bless him in his career. That's who he is. I've just come to accept that Teofimo Lopez is not going to perform against the Steve Claggetts of the world or like just that level of competition. So, you know, because I'm watching a Steve Claggett fight. I'm like, yo, how the hell did this guy beat Josh Taylor? I still can't believe that one. But look, there's some fighters like that. There's many fighters like that actually that fight up and down to the level of their competition. So I don't think it's necessarily a knock on Teo. It's just who he is. He's probably more so than most fighters in boxing. He's got a very inspirational type of personality. He needs to be inspired. He needs to really be feeling it to extract the best qualities out of him. And you know, when the time comes for that again, I'll get really excited about him. But if he's going to keep fighting the Steve Claggett the world, then I'll expect more of these kind of performances that are effective, that win, that get the job done, but aren't the pound for pound performances that I think boxing fans and people like myself are looking for. But you know, shout out to him. He got the win. Shout out to Steve Claggett for being game. I'm sure he'll get more paydays for being as game as they come and giving Teofimo Lopez some good rounds. But yeah, just not the most memorable fight, but a win nonetheless for the takeover. So leave your comments down below. Who do you guys want to see Teofimo Lopez fight next? Really and truthfully, I'd like to see him stay at 140, and I want to see him fight Liam Paro. I like that fight. I like the Liam Paro fight. I think Paro does have some attributes of guys that have gave Teofimo Lopez problems in the past, and he's still beatable, so it would be a chance for Teofimo Lopez to unify. But if Teofimo feels he doesn't need to unify and he wants to go the route of pursuing some welterweight greatness, then I think the most realistic fight to make is Brian Norman Jr. And I think that's a great fight for the boxing. But leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kevin Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.